Hello and welcome back. Today I'm starting inside because the wind is just howling outside, and I thought it'd be a little bit easier to explain what I'm going to do and then take you outside to my garden and plant some Ruth Stout potatoes. In my last video, we scabbed the potatoes, and that was just cutting the potatoes in half, making sure that there's some growing eyes on top, and doesn't that look gross? Letting the skin form or scab form over the cut edge. So the reason you do that is to help prevent disease and things like that coming in, and sometimes even insects from coming into the potato once it's been planted. So I'm going to plant these potatoes in a Ruth Stout bed that I created. If you're not familiar with a Ruth Stout bed, Ruth Stout was a gardener who grew in the mid-20th century, and she pioneered a deep mulch method using just spoiled hay. Last year, I tested out growing potatoes in a Ruth Stout bed that I created last year, and I'm just going to go back. I refreshed it this fall, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to plant these potatoes. So let's go out into the howling winds and see how that works. It truly is a beautiful day out here. And right now it's quite still, but boy, when those wind gusts come up, it's something. So let's take a look at where we're going here. All right, we are on the south side of the exterior part of my garden, and this bed in the foreground with the hay on it, that is my Ruth Stout bed. Now this bed was built just by putting hay bales on the ground. That was 2 falls ago. And I grew potatoes and then pumpkins in this bed last year. Then I topped it off with more hay, spoiled hay in the fall, and I'm just going to plant into it. So it's a very simple thing to do. As I said, there's nothing more simple than a Ruth Stout method. First thing I'm going to do is place my potatoes. And I'm going to place them about a foot apart, like this. All right. I'm just going to sort of reach down to the bottom of the bed to where the earth hits. I'm going to plant this with the eyes up, reaching on down to the bottom of the bed. Nice, very thick mulching down here. I'll show you in just a moment. Put the eye up. It's amazing how much it mulches down and how moist it is. The one thing I've learned about a Ruth Stout potato bed or Ruth Stout planting is the watering is so much less. It's a huge saver in terms of water usage. I water this in the hottest part of the summer, and of course when I'm growing things like pumpkins, which I want to have plenty of water in. I wasn't sure last year how this all would work, and I was very pleasantly surprised. Ugh, really mulching down in there. Icky. But that's what you want. As you look down in this hole, as you dig down through, you see that this is just really mulching down. And when you get down to the soil level, I don't know if you can see in there, it's just thick and rich, and it creates a fantastic growing medium. So you just plant by taking your potato eyes up, and you plunk it right on down, and then you just cover it up, all up, good and tight, with the mulch, like that. Cover it on up, pull that mulch back around it, give it a good cover. Take more hay, and I'm going to put it on top of this. I'm going to break it up some, like that. You want to use spoiled hay. It's that easy to do. And as that hay begins to clump down and the potatoes begin to come up, I will continue to build up a wall of hay around those potatoes so that they really remain deeply buried. The key thing about growing potatoes is you do not want any sunlight to reach them, because they will get green, and that makes them A, not so tasty, and 2, have a little bit of toxicity. Check out my potato growing playlist where I show you potatoes growing in all different ways in all different stages. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're well. Take care. Bye. Comes that wind.